Today's topic is going to be, can LTCN reach 500? Can it go higher? Well, in order for me to answer this question, I have to look at the history of LTCN and BCHG from 2020 to 2021 compared to the 2024 to 2025, maybe even 2026, if it is a super cycle. So the high for LTCN was in the 500s on November 22nd, 2020. You can look up the Grayscale website and click on LTCN and the performance data, and you should be able to scroll all the way down to when it first opened, the IPO at, I believe, in September at around $30 something. And BCHG high was in the $60. So I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm just going to focus on LTCN. And later on, if you want me to focus on BCHG, if I have time, I will make a video on the history of it as well too. So as you can tell, the peak was around November 22nd, 2020, right? So the LTCN NAV was at $8.27. But the LTCN total market price, which included the premium, was $500. And the share price was, I meant not the share price, but the total shares was 8,802,000 shares. So if you're going to see what the AUM is just for fun, you would multiply the $8.27 by the 8.8 million shares, right? That will be approximately 64 to $70 million in market cap. I meant in AUM, asset under management. That's the NAV price of what it's worth. But because the LTCN market price, which is the premium price, was $500, now what we want to do is we want to take the shares multiplied by the market price, or the premium price, the LTCN premium price, to figure out what the total market cap for LTCN was. So investors literally pumped $4.4 billion in 2020 on LTCN. And I just want to show you like the previous days, right? Like the 2 previous days before the big pump. So on 11/21, the NAV price was $8.07, which is not too far off from the 8.27. So literally the NAV price only increased by 20 cents. But the market price, as you can see right here, the $341, right? It jumped from $341 to $500. So what's the difference? So on 11/21, it was almost at $3 billion right here. 2.9 billion, right? So it jumped all the way up to $4.4 billion. So in one day, just one day, investors pumped up LTCN by a little over $1.4 billion. $1.4 billion in just a single day. And if we were to look 2 days before, the NAV price was $7.70. So literally, the NAV price only went up by 37 cents. But the market price went from $2.39 to $3.41. And if you're going to do the math of what the market price total, it was $2 billion, right? So about $2 billion and $90 million. So we're just going to say maybe $2.1 billion. So in a matter of 2 days, the market price went from $2 billion to $4 billion. That's how fast investors can pump up LTCN. I just want to let you know that, right? So they literally doubled the market price of what LTCN is. And they didn't even care about LTC and how high LTC went, because I did the math, right? LTC from October 31st to November 21st only went up $30. right? So about $30 worth of LTC would probably be, let's say, $1 or $2 billion, right? So they literally pumped up LTCN as much as LTC, about $2 billion worth. So in 2 days, LTCN can rack up $2 billion. That's what I call FOMO. So in today, right, because we have more shares, we have 24 million shares as compared to like the 8 million shares that we had in 2020. We take 4 billion, like at the high point, right, where investors pumped in 2020, and divide it by 24 million shares, it equals to $167. I rounded off because it was like 166.6 whatever, right? So I rounded it off to $167 for LTCN. But if we think about it, if people can pump $4 billion into LTCN, don't you think that they can pump up much more in this cycle, especially if it's a super cycle? And back in April 2021, investors only put in $1 billion, when in the past they had put in $4 billion. Some of you are telling me, well, there's a lot more funds now, but which one made them the most money? I'm thinking it was LTCN that made them the most money. So why not go back to what made them money? We just have to be patient. Remember, in 2 days, LTCN pumped $2 billion. So for all those that are just crying and, being exhausted and tired of these prices, I'm just saying, this is not financial advice, but I'm saying that the possibility of LTCN being pumped up, right, to $4 billion in market cap can be very easy. It could probably be $10 billion in market cap. And if it's $10 billion in market cap, then LTCN will once again be around $400 to $500, roughly, okay? So that's all I have for this video. I might do one about BCXG, but I'm still debating because I have other shorts that I'm going to work on. But yeah, I just want to make this video so you guys can just keep up with the positive energy. Even though you see LTCN at $10, you're like, how the heck is LTCN going to like times 10, times 20? Well, I just give you an explanation from 2020 to 2021 where the LTCN price was steady for about 3 months, going from the 200s all the way up to like the high 400s to close to 500 back again, right? So that's why once it pumps, we should have quite a bit of time to really figure out, to sell out slowly and all that stuff. So all I ask is for all of you just to be patient. And until then, just keep on watching my video. You can also share my videos to others that doubt or unbelievers, And when they see this video, they will see that it makes sense. And when something makes sense, then it's more believable into putting investment. So once again, not financial advice, but I'm just telling you, please share this video because we want to have as many investors as we possibly can. Because the more investors we have, then the higher LTCN and BCHG and all the other Grayscale trusts will pump. All right. Have a nice day.